that is. 9-7 in their last 16 with only a few future Hall of Famers in the lineup, not all four. Also, head coach Steve Kerr criticized the team's defense and effort last week. Nick Wright, what do you make of the Warriors' performance without Steph?
Man, maybe I've overstated how good this team can be, at least in short stretches, with KD, Clay, and Draymond. Like, this is, I pounded the table. I said, they got no chance of losing in the first round, even if Steph's not out there. Well, the way they've been playing, these 16 games without him, 7-9, a losing record since while he's been gone in this long stretch of time. He played one of those games briefly and got hurt again in it. Like, that's concerning for them. It doesn't seem to me to be a flip to switch type of thing. It seems to me that the team doesn't know how to play elite offensive basketball without Steph. And what they had been doing earlier in the year, CC, when Steph was out, was playing super elite defensive basketball. That's fallen by the wayside somewhat as well. They just look like a regular, pretty good basketball team the last month. That's something we haven't seen from this team in years.
Right. You can't make anything without Steph being there. What other superstar could leave a team and be like, oh, they're okay? LeBron left the Cavs? No, it wouldn't happen.
But every other team is not built like this one.
Well, that's why it's my turn to talk, Nick. Okay? Right. This team I'm not concerned about. They're also going through a little boredom. All right? Been in the 3 straight finals. They're up to broke the NBA record as far as wins in the regular season. Yeah, they can be a little lethargic, but we've seen this with other teams, and we gave them that grace period. You know something? They'll be all right when they get to the playoffs. You know what? They'll be all right when Steph gets back. That's the way the team was made. The team is not meant to play without one of their 4 superstars.
All right, over the weekend, the Cavs were down by 30 to the Sixers, almost mounted the comeback of all comebacks. But LeBron missed 2 free throws late. In fact, he's shooting 8 for 17 from the line in the final 10 seconds of one-possession games this season. That's the worst percentage in a season in the last 20 years. Nick, what do you make of LeBron's struggles at the line?
So that stat is at least slightly skewed because a few of those were intentionally missed. But there is no doubt about this. This year, LeBron, clutch free throws, has been not only the only weakness of his offensive game so far, but one of the biggest weaknesses of any superstar's offensive game that we've seen in the league. Like those, even if we want to get rid of the couple intentionally missed, so now it's 8 for 15 or 8 for 14, that still ain't great. That's still not what you want there. And so this year, that is a fair criticism of LeBron. Now, I reject the idea that that is some overarching theme of his career. In the last decade in the NBA, there have been 2 game 7s in the NBA Finals. Both of those game 7s ended with LeBron James hitting the game-winning free throws. Like that, you don't get more pressure-packed than Game 7, game-on-the-line NBA Finals. LeBron James made free throws to win those games or to ice those games. So historically, I don't think this is a problem. This year, those numbers aren't lying. Like, you saw it, and it's hard for anyone to go to the line and make 3 in a row to tie it, down 3 a second left. What, see?
It's hard for who?
Anyone.
For an NBA player?
Yeah, what do you think?
It's hard for an NBA player to go to the line with 3 shots. All he's got to do is make all 3 of them to tie up the game. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is if you're an 80% shooter, you have a 50% chance of doing that. That's what I'm saying. That's simply a fact.
I mean, I didn't know that they were moving the free throw line. I didn't know they was going to move the bucket. It is a free throw.
Yeah, I understand.
And of all the superstars in the league, you would have confidence they were going to the line. They got fouled for a 3. There might be a reason why Philadelphia fouled him there.
No. They weren't trying to foul him on a shot for 3. They were trying to foul before he took the shot. Like, at no point did they want him to shoot 3 free throws. They were arguing.
So you're saying there's everyone in the NBA, they haven't seen this stat. So you're saying it's not in the conversation. They're up by 3. We can foul LeBron. There's a chance he could still miss one. That's not part of the overall psyche.
I'm saying that no team, no matter who the guy is fouling on the shot up 3 intentionally. I don't care if it's Shaquille O'Neal trying to pull up from 3. No team would ever foul on a shot intentionally. They were arguing about it. And the NBA actually came out afterwards and said it should have been called on the ground. They were definitely trying to foul LeBron, but they were trying to foul him so he had 2 free throws.
This is the thing, Jenna. This won't go away. Because if you're ever going to continue the conversation, is he the greatest ever? This right here is going to be one of the glaring holes. His finals record and his free throw shooting, he will never be able to approach Michael Jordan. So then it becomes very, very hard. Like, what's your argument? Because especially free throw shooting late, it is critical. And you wouldn't expect someone of his ability to struggle at the free throw line.
Tell me why you struggle at the free. I mean, is it mental? It has to be mental because it's a shot that you can practice for 24 hours a day. It's always going to be the same shot. How does LeBron let one mental thing seep into his game?
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. The guy is not a great free throw shooter at any point in the game, right? He's around league average. That is the biggest. If we're talking about picking apart the game, which we're going to do if we're calling somebody the greatest ever or one of the greatest ever, it's a fair thing to pick apart. He's around a 75% free throw shooter for his career. A 75% shooter in those situations, instead of being 8 of 17, would be 12 of 17, right? So we're talking about 4 missed free throws. 2 of those were intentionally missed. So we're talking about 2 missed free throws, afar from his career average. So the mental part of it, I personally don't buy into. I mentioned the most pressure-packed free throws of his life to win championships he made. But I want to just go back to something Chris said. Go ahead, Cecil.
Free throw shooting is 2 things. One part is mental, Jenna. You are right. It is mental. Other thing, it's his shooting stroke. All right? He's changed his shooting motion at the free throw line at least 5 or 6 times during his career. He's working with something else different now. He's taking one step off the free throw line, then getting up. And talking to someone who I know is a great shooter, LeBron's motion, he brings the ball from down by his knees, so the reaction on the shot, he gets a big bounce. Compared to other guys who start a softer motion, about from right here at their face and just shoot the free throw. LeBron brings the ball down by his knees and brings the ball up. He believes, because I discussed it with him last week, he believes that's his problem. So, yes, it is mental, because when you are shooting from the three-point line and you can shoot the array of shots that LeBron can shoot, contested, one balance, bank shots, shooting with his left hand, it becomes mental, but it's also the fundamental thing of his stroke at the free throw line. He does not. This is something he has not conquered. He shot thousands of free throws, but this part he has not been able to overcome.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that entirely. The point that I was making is it would be more concerning if LeBron were a 90% free throw shooter and then had these late game struggles. Sure. It's been a fair knock on him.
But it's a greater sample size. The 90% would cancel out the clutch because you were like, man, over the course of his career, he's 90%.
Yeah.
Like,
it would be more glaring if a guy who's a great free throw shooter. If this were Steph, it's more glaring. Like a guy that's a mediocre free throw shooter, which is what he is, struggling this season late in games is not that shocking. It's not an excuse. I said it's the biggest indictment on.
I'm just going to tell you, there was nothing about Michael Jordan's game that was mediocre. There's no point in his game, anything. Passing, there's nothing you could say that was about his game that was mediocre.
All right,
and I'm willing to take on any type
his three-point shooting. You don't want to have the debate right now, but his three-point shooting was mediocre. Like, we don't have to go into an MJ LeBron debate, but don't say that. And then, the three-point shooting was mediocre.
No problem.